Dead On with Randy Ulmer.
You know, when you've been in archery as long as I have, you tend to assume that other people who've been in the sport for a while know how to do simple techniques and procedures to their bow. Well, I had an interesting experience a couple of months ago. I had a buddy of mine who's a very experienced bow hunter, and I was helping him put his bow together, and I asked him to serve his peep in, and he said, "Randy, I don't know how to serve." And it got me to thinking there's probably a lot of experienced people and some of you that are less experienced that don't know how to do a simple serving. So what I thought I'd like to do today is teach you how to do a simple serving. First of all, it's easiest to put a serving on if your bow's in the horizontal position, and you want the string side up, of course. And if you need extra room, you can tie the cables out of the way up against the riser. Figure out about where you want the left side of your serving to start, and remember, you can fine-tune where the serving ends at the very end of the process. You need to secure the free end of your serving string way over to your right somewhere. Then you just start wrapping the serving material around the string and the single strand of serving material that you've stretched along the string. You wrap it around about 5 or 6 times if you're making a peep serving or a knocking point, but if you're making a center serving, you need to wrap it about 12 or 15 times. Make sure the wraps are nice and tight and up against one another. Now you need to pull the free end fairly tight to keep it all in position, but not too tight or you won't be able to adjust the serving's final position. Now continue wrapping. If it's going to be a center serving, you'll need to be using a serving tool and keep it really tight. But for our purposes today, we're just serving in a knocking point or a peep, and we won't be using a serving jig. Next, you want to make a few wraps around the string only. Then you make a big loop with the serving material, and then you continue wrapping inside the loop back towards the left. Again, you wrap about 5 or 6 times, and then you hold the free end off to the left while you serve the loop in the same direction as you were going originally. Once the internal wrap's played out, you pull the loose end to tighten it up a little bit. Now you put the serving exactly where you want it before you crank it down tight. And you crank it down tight by pulling on the loose ends. Then I like to cut the loose ends fairly short and burn them down so they're out of the way. Knowing how to make a serving is a technique that pretty much every good archer ought to know how to do. What I'd suggest you do is record this on your DVR and play it over and over again as you're trying to make your own serving. You'll find that once you learn how to do it, it's going to be pretty easy to repeat.